So guys, in this next news story, a teenager who armed himself with a kitchen knife and shouted expletives after stabbing a 17-year-old in broad daylight over a drug debt has been jailed for life for his murder. Armin Mehdikhani Sarevijani, who's 16, smiled as he was arrested for Mustafa Momand's murder in central Brighton on October the 5th, 2023. Brighton Crown Court heard how Mustafa spent his dying moments running away in fear after he was knifed through the breastbone on Queen's Road. The A-level business and law student ran for 150 metres before he staggered and collapsed while his attacker yelled expletives saying, "I'm going to fucking get you." Judge Mr. Justice Constable KC said Mustafa was trying to turn his life around from being a minor pawn in the terrible drug business which destroys so many lives. The trial heard how Mustafa had racked up a £20,000 shared drug debt and that his parents had tried to save him from drug dealing and debts and even begged the police to send him to prison to save his life. Sentencing Mehdi Khani Sarivijani, Mr. Justice Constable said Mustafa Momand was a brave young man who took the decision to try and leave the drug world behind him with his parents' support, but this meant leaving this so-called unpaid debt. He said, "I have no doubt that you were tasked as an expendable foot soldier with inflicting lethal punishment on Mustafa." He added, "This tragic case serves as a stark reminder of the very real dangers that await young people who get involved in dealing drugs, of the appalling way in which young lives spiral quickly into effective servitude for the financial benefit of others and become treated as expendable, and most clearly of the devastating consequences of ever more frequent knife crime." The judge sentenced the defendant to a minimum term of 17 years in prison for what he described as a planned and premeditated attack. In CCTV footage, he was seen wearing a balaclava and putting a single glove on his right hand in the moments before stabbing Mustafa. The judge also said his evidence given during the trial that it was an accident was untrue and cowardly. During the trial, jurors heard how Mustafa had told his mother he regretted everything and talked about going to college to study law to help exploited children. He'd actually moved to the UK from Afghanistan with his family in 2009 when he was 3 years old, and in late 2021 his mother found some cannabis in his room and suspected he was using or dealing drugs. When Mustafa turned 16, things got worse and his behaviour changed. His parents found weapons in his pockets and he went missing for days on occasions, coming back with valuable items or injuries. Jurors were told that in November 2022, Mustafa told his father he was in debt and needed £8,000 or they will kill me. The teenager cried and pleaded until his father managed to give him some money. His father got him a job in a chicken shop and he would stand outside for hours while Mustafa worked, as he was scared the people who he owed money to would find him there. Eventually, Mustafa was moved out of the area to a care home in Croydon in April 2023. While living there, he registered and tried to change his life around. He began a 2-year A-level course in business and law and was going shopping with his mother for new clothes for college in Brighton on September the 23rd. On a trip to Churchill Shopping Centre, Mustafa was shocked and shaken to bump into someone and was surrounded by a group of young men who let him go because he was with his mother. His mother recalled a phone call Mustafa received in the car afterwards to tell him to run. Less than 2 weeks later, on the 5th of October, Mustafa travelled from Croydon to Brighton Magistrates Court for an appearance in relation to drugs offences. He left court alone and was walking in the direction of Brighton's train station on Queen's Road. The pair were seen coming into contact on bus CCTV footage at around 5 o'clock in the evening when the city centre was busy and lots of people saw the fatal attack. Medikani Saravajani was also found guilty and sentenced over 2 other separate incidents in July and August 2023 of threatening another person with a bladed article and an offensive weapon. During the trial, he was granted anonymity because he was under 18 years old, but the judge lifted the reporting restrictions at sentencing today after applications by various media outlets, and now he's going to be in prison for a very, very long time. Just want to say rest in peace to the victim, and my condolences go out to your family. And guys, in this next news story, a jealous ex-partner who killed a mother in front of her 2 children after she broke up with him has been jailed for a minimum term of 27 years. Obert Moyo stabbed Perseverance Cube, who was 35 years old, in the chest in Little Hulton in Salford in the early hours of the 10th of November last year. Police said Moyo had broken into her home following a campaign of stalking, and her children, who were only aged 10 and 12, tried to fight him off. The 46-year-old admitted murder and was handed a life sentence at Manchester's Minishall Street Crown Court. Moyo of Bolton had denied the killing but changed his plea to guilty on the first day of his trial. The court heard the pair had been in a relationship, but Moyo stalked Mrs. Uncube, who was known as Percy, for months after she ended it. Moyo first broke into the home and attacked her in her bedroom, but her 2 children dragged him off her. He then chased her down the street and stabbed her in the chest. The prosecutor, Eloise Marshall KC, told the court her children could be heard in the background of the 999 call, with one of them praying for their mother's life. Moyo fled the scene before he was arrested in Bolton later the same day. In a victim personal impact statement, Miss Uncube's son said, "Me and my sister have been robbed of our mother and our whole life. Every day, with a burning pain, I miss her. I miss being able to hug her. I miss being able to talk to her. Mummy, I miss you and I will always love you." Her daughter told Moyo that he had ruined her whole life, adding, "You have stolen my mum from me. I really thought that you were a father to me, but you are not. I hate you. I really hate you." Sentencing Moyo to a life jail term, Judge Patrick Field KC told him his crime had been premeditated, brutal and wicked. The judge said Miss Nkumbe formed a relationship with another man in September 2023. "You were consumed by jealousy and your behaviour deteriorated further. This fatal attack took place in front of her children. You then ran away, leaving her to die in the streets. The cries of distress and terror accompanying that scene were truly awful. The impact on those children is unimaginable. This was a calculated, premeditated, brutal and wicked offence." Moyo was actually on licence at the time of the killing from a 14-year jail term imposed in January 2013 for attacking another woman following their relationship breakup. Greater Manchester Police described Moyo as a dangerous and violent man who would not accept his relationship with Percy was over. Detective Chief Inspector Gina Brennan said Percy's children have been unbelievably brave and are being supported by a close and loving family. Percy was full of life, frequently described as lighting up a room and a treasured member of a church community. So guys, I just want to say rest in peace to the victim and my condolences go out to your family. But there's a few news stories coming out from the streets of the UK. Once again, if you already haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a little like. It's your boy JC. Keep it locked, keep it real.